Mark McCoskey, how big a loss is that for you guys?
It's disappointing for Mark, but you know we don't have any expectations on having any extra players available. We're not planning around that. We'll just deal with those things as they arise. So it's one less player that we'll have available later in the year.
What is it morale when you lose a bloke like you? You got blokes definitely trying to get back in, had a history of bad luck, or is it doing that happen?
For Mark?
For him and the team.
Yeah, like we did with when Lecker got injured at the start of the year, when Kennedy was out, we all feel for them, but doesn't take our focus away from the job we're here to do. That's part of our job, is to not be affected by those things.
How's he?
I'm catching up with him straight after this to have a chat with him. I would expect he's disappointed, yeah, very much so. In some cases you can look at it and say Nico's been extremely fortunate. You know, he's played some great footy. He was part of a wonderful turnaround for the club. You know, I've said it before, last year was one of the most successful seasons the club has had other than premiership winning seasons. So he was a massive part of that and helped the club achieve a huge amount. Now, we all have had injuries at times. We've seen Beau Waters, Sam Butler, Travis Gaspar. You know, you can go through a lot of players. So it's an unfortunate part of being an elite sports person that you push your bodies right to the limit.
John, speaking about this week, Hobart, bit of momentum with North Melbourne. You probably welcome the challenge this weekend, considering last week.
Yeah, I've become a bit of a broken record, but we look forward to the challenge. Yeah, every week. We embraced the challenge of playing Gold Coast last week. We really embraced the challenge of playing Collingwood the previous week. We learned from both those games. This is another opportunity for us to aim to work on things we want to work on and make ourselves better.
Where do you think North Melbourne have improved in recent weeks, John?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think their footy's been pretty intense all the way through the year. You know, they're a hard running team, move the ball well. So probably just overall their ball movement's been cleaner.
What can you do as a team, I suppose, to shut down their slip ball?
Play our game, which is play really good footy. So we don't expect to shut down all their ball movement, but we'll put them under pressure and then aim to move the ball well ourselves.
Schofield and Selwood, if they are cleared of the injury, are they walk-up starts in a team that won by over 100 points?
No, they're not, no. You know, Sam Butler's back. He did everything we asked of him last week, going back into the waffle. Ash Smith got through his game. So all those guys are looking to see what the selector's going to do this week.
Do you think they'll be available, fitness-wise?
I would expect so, yeah. Yep.
We'd like to see a fair few high-profile blokes playing waffle footy as they come back. You obviously got Butler, as mentioned, and the other guys. You got some blokes out there who are going to have to, obviously, but what about if you miss one or two now, you're going to be facing the prospect of having to force your way back in?
Yeah, that's situational, so that will depend. You know, if you get injuries to players, then some players will come straight back in. Others might have to come through the WAFL, but I can't categorically say who and when. But you know, it's a good position for us to be in that some of the players that have been in the side got opportunities, right down to Murray Newman, but Jacob Brennan and you know, Brad Shepherd, Ashton Hams, all those guys have performed really well. So decisions around team selection are going to be around players who have done enough to stay in the side or that help us play our best football.
Just on Kerr's 200th Woosh, do you mind giving your thoughts on his career and his journey to get to this?
Yeah, I'd say he's had a remarkable career, really, with the achievements that he's had, considering, you know, the setbacks he's had along the way as well. But a massive contributor to the club in winning a premiership, playing in 2 grand finals. Massive contributor in helping the club rebuild after the tough period. And, you know, a good character to have around, a player that I really admire the way he goes about his footy, as we all do, I think. And has answered a lot of questions about whether he'd ever get back to playing at his best football. You know, I certainly always believed he would, and it's great to see him doing that with a lot more to come.
How close is he to his best? Is he right there now, or do you think there's still a bit of scope?
He's not far off it, but yeah, I still think he could improve again.
And everybody always mentions Kerr, Judd, Cousins, the golden three, I suppose.
Yep.
Is it the best out of them? Can you separate them at all, or is it always just going to be that trio? That
Yeah, I'm always one that they're all slightly different. All brilliant footballers, but yeah, they're different. I think Juddy maybe played his 230 odd game on the weekend, so he's had 30 odd more than Daniel. So in that period, his body's copped 230 odd games worth of battering. Kerry's had a couple of years off, so potentially that he's got another 40 or 50 games in him. I think probably winning a contested football and then somehow getting it to a player that you reckon he can't see with a handball, that just sets up the play, puts a player into a brilliant open space. I think the number of times I've seen him do that, handball either over his shoulder, after being coming out of contested situations or being hit hard, taking a real tough footy. So I think he might have had a Mark of the Year contender. Yeah, or even, oh, he didn't win it, did he? 2001, I think. Took a big screamer, and I think he's had a Goal of the Year contender or won it. Yeah. But it's more, so he's done some of the brilliant, spectacular things, but his ability to win a contested footy in a situation that you think he's going to get hurt in and then still get it out to a teammate in space has been spectacular.